I'm thinking about something now, which I reckon is interesting. I'm thinking about the future, and I'm also thinking about the past, I suppose. And what I'm thinking is that life is going to be very different in 100 years. All kinds of things will be different in the way we live. The things that we have, the way we do things, our technology, our industry, everything will change greatly in 100 years' time. And I'm also thinking about the past because life was very different 100 years ago. Life was very basic, and there's so much technology that we didn't have. So many things in life were very different and very basic 100 years ago. So, what I'm thinking is that in 100 years' time, the way we look at how we live now will be the same kind of thing. They will look at how we live now and see ourselves as being basic and limited, and they'd feel sorry for us that we didn't have a lot of things that they would have in 100 years' time. And I'm trying to imagine how life will be so different in 100 years that they would see how I'm living now as being basic and backward, and they'd see it as history, and they wouldn't want to be living like I'm living. So I'm trying to imagine what kind of changes there would be, and I'm not coming up with anything really. Except one thing I'm thinking is that there will be androids, there'll be robots, there'll be people who seem like humans but will be artificial human beings, and they'll be able to do amazing things. And I think there will be androids in our lives, and so I don't know what that would mean in the way we live. But I can't think of anything else that will change drastically. But even though I can't think of stuff, I know that things will happen somehow, and we will live very differently in 100 years' time to the way we live now. And I can't imagine what the changes will be, but I do know there will be changes. And they will see how I'm living now as being backward and awkward compared to what they have in 100 years' time. And it is amazing to wonder how life will be so different that they would see how I'm living now as backward and basic and awkward. So I have no idea of the content that there will be. But I do know it will probably be internet based, it will be technology, robotics, the internet, androids, stuff like that. I think that will happen, and I can't really imagine other stuff. But I do know that life will be very different in 100 years' time, and it will happen, and that's the end of it. And it is amazing to know that life will change drastically. The same way life is very different now to the way it was 100 years ago. The same thing will happen in 100 years' time. And it is amazing to know that life will be so different. And one thing I'm thinking is that people will live a lot longer. I think people will be living to 100, 150, 200 more commonly. And I think that will happen. And there will be robots and androids, as I say. I can't think of much else that will be different. But the internet is bound to grow in complexity and capability. And I do see the internet as being essentially like a brain for the earth. So we will increase the complexity and capability of the brain enormously, and our internet will become so connected to us. I think we will have connections in our brains to the internet. So we could just think at the internet and connect with it and make use of it. So I think our use of the internet will grow in also at intimacy. We will make use of the internet far more, and the internet will become even more capable over time.